Life Results Book Group.
Hey everybody.
We're going to do a section called It's Not About Size today. While it may not be an exact representation, let's look at two states of mind from the perspective of making money.
For every $1 per second the conscious mind earns, remember that she did the comparison between 400 billion bits per second, traveling 100,000 miles per hour versus a couple thousand for 100 miles per hour. Okay, so if you try to make sense of that, try to take that into numbers that we can actually wrap our heads around. For every $1 per second the conscious mind could be earning, the subconscious is earning over 200 million per second.
Yeah, it's difficult for our little conscious brain to wrap our head around it.
I really don't know what 200 million looks like. Like, I've seen pictures of 1 million and I can imagine 1,000 thousands. That makes sense to me. 200 million, and then per second, like trying to picture how fast that would accumulate in 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, our conscious mind can wrap our head around the $1 per second.
$1 per second? Yeah, I like $1. $1. That's easy.
Yeah.
I can picture that.
Mm-hmm. That's what, like, the contrast of what the amount of information and how fast it's moving.
Yeah. Turn it.
Okay. Yet at the same time, our conscious mind is extremely powerful at things like imagining, planning, predicting, interpreting data, and coming up with a strategy. It may not be able to process much per second, but its power should not be underestimated.
Just think if the conscious mind could direct the subconscious to use 100% of its processing power for the conscious mind's purposes. What would that do to the power dynamic? Okay, so the power dynamic. So you have this incredible, powerful, in this instance, talking about the money-making machine, 200 million per second. And the subconscious is spending that money somewhere, that processing power, it's spending that money somewhere. And if the conscious mind only has this $1 per second, and that's what it gets to spend on thinking things, you can see that the big difference in the power dynamic. But if the subconscious is willing to let the conscious play with the money or the processing power that the subconscious is coming up with, then the conscious gets to do so much more in the amount of time it has.
Yeah. Yes, accessing some of those resources. Like, you can imagine how different everything would be if you had much more energy and processing power to do anything that you're doing.
And, okay, so, oh yeah, one of the challenges is, yeah, but it's subconscious, so I don't know what it's thinking about. I don't know what it's doing. But remember the analogy of learning to read or other things like tying your shoe. It started out as something that you had to approach from a conscious mind and little pieces and little bits. But now, as Stacy described, when you read, the words, the book, everything falls away and it's just in the story. So that's an example of this power dynamic where the subconscious, it has a power that you and the conscious mind are working together. So the conscious mind says, this is the book I want to read. And then you open the page and then the subconscious fills in with those 200 million bits per second, $200 million per second to pay the cost of reading this book.
Yeah.
It's a process that you're doing subconsciously and consciously.
Yeah. Like, instead of in each individual letter and then sounding it out and putting it into a word and those words into a sentence and then focusing on the black, on the white, like, those things are things that you just turned over to the subconscious, and the subconscious delivers you images of the story. And you're, like, we carried away, swept away by the story.
And where did those images come from? And where did, like, all of that detail that you're filling in, that is not a conscious process. That you're pulling things subconsciously all the time. Any kind of information is comparing it to what you already know or have already experienced, your past. You're already doing a lot of things subconsciously. So we're just talking about how to best use this process, this partnership between the two for making change, especially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fueling your transformation.
And then for getting any results in your life. So peak experience is one way to optimize your results, and then peak experience inherently involves the subconscious. You couldn't do it. You can't achieve peak experience without involving the subconscious.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, it's too many dollars.
Too many. Yeah, peak experience is way more dollars than the subconscious or the conscious all by itself can afford.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a good way to say it.
Okay.
It's rich.
It's rich. Yes, you need some of those dollars.
Okay.
Take care, everyone.
See you guys tomorrow.
Bye.